on the team today earned their wings through military training in the United States Air Force, the Navy, and the Marines. Many transitioned then to commercial airline pilots following their time served in the military. Leading the flight today is boss Larry Arkin, co-pilot Steve Kapoor. Watch now as the Skytypers perform the turning maneuver in this beautiful formation. These aircraft each weigh about 5,500 pounds. They use that 600 horsepower supercharged 9-cylinder radial, better known as the Pratt & Whitney R1340. Notice the precision of the pilots as they constantly adjust to hold their position on flight lead while maintaining only a few feet of wingtip clearance. This is the type of formation flying that's required, and it absolutely takes full concentration and a high degree of skill that's only developed after many years of flying. The Geico Skytypers are pleased today to demonstrate some of the unique capabilities of this vintage aircraft. They'll be performing a series of demonstrations and maneuvers. Right now, the flight lead is releasing both outboard solo pilots for a further demonstration of this aircraft's rare maneuverability. Watch the solos as they turn their smoke on and cross paths right in front of you there, folks. Here they go, narrowly missing each other with just a little margin of error. As the aircraft cross, the solo pilots will now turn towards show center to demonstrate the opposing solo pass. Diving now for energy, the solos begin their approach. Closing speeds of over 320 miles per hour. Watch now as they turn in right there toward Airshow Center. When they get closer, watch for the pitch up. Just watch as they roll in toward each other, passing canopy to canopy, less than 50 feet apart. As the solos clear the sky, watch for the rest of the formation right at show center. The Geico Skytypers will now demonstrate one of their signature formations known simply as the line of abreast. And now at the command of the leader, the Skytypers will execute that perfect 90-degree right turn and change the formation into a trail. Once in trail, they'll regroup into a more effective formation in order to continue on with this mission. The flight leader is now in the forwardmost position of that echelon formation. He's responsible for the direction and the integrity of that entire flight. The wingmen, they need to maintain their positions while constantly referencing the flight lead. The pilots today, right wing, Mr. Ken Johansson, and left wing, Mr. Rob Steo. Smoke is on, ladies and gentlemen. Watch now as they execute this precision formation. More American combat pilots trained in this single-engine tandem-seater than any other World War II trainer. The SNJ, designed in the late 1930s, flew with the armed forces well into the Korean War up into the 1950s, retiring as a Navy trainer back in 1958. Forward air controllers today, better known as FACS. The FACS will study the target area and determine the level of threat. But today, they're going to determine that the level of threat is high, and they're going to be calling out for support from the other aircraft. Watch now as they signal 3 Flight, better known as Gecko Flight, to come on back in for assistance. But be sure to notice that Gecko Flight has just enough ammunition and fuel for one pass before they head inbound. Watch now as these 2 solo FACS, with their smoke on, perform a circling maneuver. That's going to signal that something's wrong, and that's the area where they need to see. They need to get a better look at it. They're going to start this tight turning radius turn that's going to be able to illustrate what happens when 2 enemy aircraft enter a no-advantage turning contest. Watch now as those 2 SNJs start this very maneuver. For the moment, neither pilot is able to take a shot. Watch now as they execute this tight turning circle flawlessly. After being engaged in this no-win encounter, they're going to break off and disengage. And high and to the right, in just a matter of moments, Gecko Flight number 3 will arrive in the echelon formation in response to this simulated call for support. This formation is well known to anyone who has watched World War II movies. You often see the aircraft rolling in on the target or the enemy aircraft from the echelon formation. High and right above us, watch now as they're cleared in hot and go for the break. Gecko Flight rolling in for a high angle attack straight. The spiral attack is used to confuse the enemy gunners on the ground. As the Gecko Flight departs and rejoins into a defensive 3-ship formation, watch high above the target area once again as 2 aircraft are dispatched to assess the damage. The 2 FAC aircraft are now inbound, looking over the target area for anything that might have been missed. Today, it appears absolutely that everything has been hit. When they exit the area, they'll retain their same speed, but change their heading and altitude to evade the enemy fire. Geico and the Geico Skytypers would like to share another one of our unique capabilities. Ladies and gentlemen, the Solos are now generating a special message to show their appreciation to everyone for attending today's show. Begin to pull into the vertical. They will once again cross at 180 miles an hour and turn their smoke on. About you, but it looks like they're drawing a big heart in the sky. Keep your eyes forward now as the diamond formation transformed into a challenging vertical diamond attempts to fly right through the center. In the vertical diamond, the references the wingmen use change completely now as they have to look almost straight up to remain in position with the lead aircraft. And if you look straight ahead, you'll see Skytyper number 5 demonstrating a low altitude pop-up bombing attack. After exiting the target area, follow the Solos as they rejoin with the rest of the squadron overhead to form a 5-plane formation. Keep your eyes on the formation as it simulates an RTB, or better known as a return to base. The aircraft is a powerful mix of the new and the old. The vintage World War II aircraft enhanced with the latest computer technology used to create giant messages in the sky, better known as skytyping. These are the only 2 teams in the United States that create skytype messages. The Geico Skytypers, however, are the only team to skytype and perform demonstrations like the one you've seen here today. Displayed at 10,000 feet, the skytype messages can be seen in a 30-mile circle, including a 400 square mile radius. Each letter that's created is as tall as the Empire State Building. Ladies and gentlemen, please look straight ahead now and watch as the Solos rejoin the rest of the flight. The boss is going to maneuver them into a special formation position. Modern jets have a lot of power and speed, but this, ladies and gentlemen, is called the Fan Pass. Continue to watch the aircraft overhead as they rejoin and then reverse to give you one more exciting photo opportunity right across Show Center. These aircraft are operated most of the year in the New York metro area and are based out of Farmingdale, New York's Republic Airport. They've been responsible for keeping these vintage aircraft in such fine shape. The Skytyper aircraft technicians, better known as Keith Urso, Frank Artria, Alex Nera, and Greg Coons. They're known as the SNJ-2. These are the first in the series of the SNJs that were built for the Navy by North American Aviation. There are over 15,000 variants of this aircraft built. The SNJs were made, of course, for carrier operations and came well equipped with the tailhook. The aircraft were often referred to as the pilot maker. The SNJ designation, well, that was for the Navy. The Army Air Force referred to it as the AT-6. The Royal Air Force and the Royal Canadian Air Force called it the Harvard. But all of them were the predecessor of the North American. across the country. Thanks to their sponsorship. The team flying today, though, in honor of all of our military veterans, but especially those who flew during the Second World War. Follow the formation now as they roll in reverse direction. They'll come in low and fast and then pitch up for their famous landing sequence. Let's watch now, ladies and gentlemen, on the right side of the field as the Geico Skytypers fly in for their landing pass. And going for the break, that's pilot number 1. Give a big round of applause to Mr. Larry Arkin and Steve Kapoor. Number 2, James Johansson. Number 3, Steve. Number 5, Steve Salamars. And number 6, Tom Daly. Geico and the Geico Skytypers would like to thank you, the audience, for supporting the Rhode Island Airshow and their great sponsors. Stop by and talk with the folks at Geico today. Buy their big Geico tent. Have a signed picture or some great Gecko gifts. And remember, folks, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more right there at geico.com. Today, a former military aviators. By the way, the smoke that's being used today is an environmentally friendly light paraffin-based oil that's been approved by EPA. It's used in air shows nationwide. Our thanks to Geico and to the Geico Skytypers, everybody, as they roll out here on landing. As soon as those canopies come open, they'll be able to hear your applause. Please let them hear from you. The Geico Skytypers, please find out more about them at geico.com, and of course, find them on Facebook. Just run a search there for Geico Skytypers. How about another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for the Geico Skytypers as they make their way back in. We got the last one landing there. Our thanks to each and every one of them for coming out today.
11, we witnessed just how important firefighters and police are. I'm Harold Shaper, the president of the International Association of Firefighters. There's an important step to